Hello, Chris here. Real Lemon 140. Gonna open a beer and tell you about some beer again. If you like that, that's good. Tonight, just to let you know, give you a bit of background actually. I'm going down to Cornwall on the weekend. Back to from whence I came. And I thought I'd squeeze in a crafty Cornish beer before I went down. So tonight I've got some Cornish Knocker. Now I haven't got my hands on, due to the fact that I didn't actually grow up in Cornwall for most of my life. I've moved around the country a bit. I haven't got my hands on some Cornish Knockers since about 1996, so good to have it here. Got a slightly saucy picture on the bottle there. Skinner's surfing that kind of ground between overly saucy and a bit camp and actually just being vaguely amusing. Also, what they do with their beers, and you've seen it when I reviewed the Betty Stoggs, the beers are related to Cornish legends. So the Cornish Knockers were like small people that would have led the miners, tin miners in the main, although gold was mine years back, but tin miners in the main. They'd led them to rich seams of tin, and if you've ever been down to Cornwall and had a proper Cornish pasty, not to be confused, and I must be very clear on this, with a bake, as in a steak bake from Greggs. That is not a pasty. A corned beef pasty is not a pasty. It's something else. A pasty is proper. It's made with the proper stuff, and it comes with a nice thick plait of crust like that. Now the miners would hold the plait of crust on their pasty, and that would they would eat the rest of it. Nom 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 nom, like that. And then lob the crust away, because they'd have filthy hands, being miners. You know what miners are like. They live in Wales now. I mean, in the land of people with dirty faces, and so you understand, people working down the mine would have dirty hands. They'd lob away the crust. That was the whole point of it. Give them something to hold on to their lunch, instead of having to worry about finding a clean place to eat it. And you're not going to start washing your hands and disinfecting them before you have your lunch when you're down a mine 150 years ago. Just not the done thing. Well, anyway, so that's enough Cornishy stuff for the minute. So this comes in at 4.5%. Let's open it and get the nose. Darn pretty. Oh God! It mashes the things. This Durham Brewery opener. Sometimes it just slips. A bit of smoke. Little bit of movement on the beer there, just to go up the bottle. Let's get it in the glass. So you can see there, it's coming out. Lovely, lovely golden colour. Bit of a head on there. Bit of a head forming. Nothing too crazy. Good one finger head though. Depending which finger. It's not only got two fingers. Let's have a sniff. Now, this comes in the range that we have in my local shop. You get the Knockers, you get the Betty Stoggs, and you get the Helligan's Honey. This is, it depends on how I'm feeling and what time of year it is often, but this is probably, at the moment, this time of year, my favourite one. The Stoggs is a brilliant session beer, and I love it to bits. This is it's that bit tastier, and you can get that from the smell on its own. The Stoggs comes with a biscuity smell. This comes with that lovely thing that you'd associate with the golden ale. You're picking up a bit more fruit off the nose. Maybe touch of almost the kind of vegetation that you get in a sand dune, when the sand dunes get a bit more mature, a bit further back, so you start just before you get to the bits where there's going to be trees and stuff, but in that bit where you're beyond just the grass, and you you get into that part, you get a particular smell. So I think I'm going to try this, and then I'll tell you what I think of the taste. Chin chin. It's definitely same as you get with the nose. There's a kind of a flowery, almost as if you could distill the taste of wildflowers into a drink, into a beer, which I'm sure you can. Well, they have, but you pick that up in there. So that smell of wildflowers. If you can imagine what that might taste like, you pick up some of that in the flavour here. Excuse me. It's didn't touch on the carbonation actually. There's not an awful lot of movement. You may pick that up on the camera there. Not much happening at all. That's okay though. This is strong enough at 4.5 that it's going to be. Excuse me. It's going to be a good session now. And you know, if it's not too gassy, that's a good thing. Although some people might prefer a bit of gas in there just to help them get some burps going, but it's not obviously not that difficult to prompt them. Yeah. The bitterness is abiding. It comes after the beer has left your mouth. You've got a trace of it at the back of your tongue, and it's probably taken up maybe the last third of my tongue now. And it sits really nicely there, and just feeds you that. It's not overly bitter. It's not sharp bitter. It's not crazy tropical fruit bitter. It's just good, really excellent kind of UK based bitter, and this is what the guys at Skinner's do particularly well. This has been twice Supreme Champion Beer of the Southwest, and also the 2008 Bronze Camera Champion Golden Ale of Great Britain. It doesn't surprise me. It's a really excellent piece of work. Ignore the label. If you're looking at your beers in the supermarket and you're worried that the label might be, a bit silly, don't worry too much about that. Buy it, get some down your neck, see what you think. In terms of hoppiness, it fits in the golden ale category quite nicely. It's not overly hoppy. It's not a massive boom of hops. They're in there. They're pushing their way through. They're making your mouth think a little bit, or making you think from the signals from your mouth. They get under your tongue. It just very, very lightly jabs those taste receptors right at the back. You get a little bit drooly from it. Really good. Okay. This, for me, is a beer that I would happily stick away 3 or 4 of quite easily. I'm going down to Cornwall next week, and I fully intend to stick down several of these down my neck, and that's going to be great. I know there's other things available, but this is just one of those great session beers that you can just go back to, and there's enough there to keep you interested, and there's enough there to kind of, it means that you can keep appreciating the taste of the beer, because you're not just endlessly sat there waiting for another big hit of pineapple or another big hit of kiwi fruit or whatever. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a rating on the basis of what it's for. For me, it's for a session beer. For me, it's for something you're going to sit down and drink from 12 o'clock to 6, 7 o'clock before you nip off for dinner, and it's not going to get you hammered, not 4.5%. Okay, so a rating. One final sip of that. I'm going to go with an 8.5. This is really good. There may be a slight bias in there because I'm Cornish, and you know, I do occasionally say that I do things directly. That's fine. It's worth checking out. So please do check out the beer of my father's if you wish to feel sentimental about it. And I'll catch up with you again soon. Cheers.